Hey guys!
Welcome back.
Welcome back to part 2 of our childhood nostalgia episode.
Yes. Let's get into this.
I'm very excited because we're off the TV shows, off the cartoons, and we're on to the internet. We're getting online.
On to the internet. So I feel like we are quite literally the example of like the internet raised us. We're like the OGs.
Like internet kids, not tablet kids, but like your PC computer that's like making all types of noises.
Literally
like,
www dot insert website. Like I feel HTTP. Like I feel like that's who we were.
Yeah.
That's who we were. And we're not getting into things like MySpace. I feel like we were too young.
No, not social media.
We're not talking about social media. We're not talking about its origins and the toxicity thereof.
Yeah.
We're talking about playing like games on the computer.
I mean, we're talking about virtual worlds.
We're talking about, let's be specific.
We're talking about virtual worlds. We're talking about virtual worlds because we were the virtual world OGs.
I feel like we played every virtual world game there was.
No, like when we got sick of one, we were like scouring the internet for another.
We were scouring the internet. We were on to the next, and I feel like once again, this is the thing. Like this is what raised us. You were outside talking to your friends. We were inside talking to our friends online.
Talking to our friends. Who knew if they were a 40-year-old man? Who knew if they were 20 years old?
And did it matter?
Did it matter? No, because we're all in this little virtual online game
trying to defeat this monster.
Or honestly trying to like level up our characters.
Put on the best outfits.
Yeah.
Like that's the kind of vibe we were on. And once again, I wouldn't change that for the world.
I wouldn't change it for the world.
I wouldn't take it back. Like I wouldn't go outside. If I can go back in time, I would not have told myself to go outside.
No, it wouldn't have been like put that down and like go
keep playing.
Yeah.
Buy more stuff.
Make sure you get that membership. Like what?
Oh my gosh. Shout out to our mom for letting us get that Club Penguin membership.
I was about to say, we got to start with Club Penguin.
We have to start.
That might have been the first one we ever got on.
OG.
Club
Penguin was definitely, I think, the first virtual game that we tapped into.
Yeah.
Not the first out by any means, but it's the first one that we tapped into. Thoughts?
I mean, when we look back, it was such like a moment in time. It was such like... Because if you think about it, like nowadays, I don't know if that would fly because people are on like Roblox, like, and even later on in the virtual games, we'll talk about like people wanted an actual person.
People wanted a person.
They wanted a person that they could really like clothe up and down. Like, like kids nowadays would never like only be, everybody's walking around with penguins. And all the penguins kind of look the same except for like the colors.
There was no body difference.
Yeah.
There was no flat
like
tummy.
No
like cinched waist.
No.
And
then the outfits, if you have a membership, the outfits were still limited. Like, how good is your penguin going to look in a miniskirt?
It was about your, what was it? Your pluffle? Your truffle?
Your puffle.
Your puffle.
Your puffle and your igloo.
Your puffle and your igloo was where it was at.
It was really where it was at, but, like, the game itself was just so good. Like, I loved the mini games on there.
Yeah, okay, like, for me, like, to be fair, I feel like I definitely, like, enjoyed Club Penguin in its time, but I feel like I enjoyed it more because it was one of the only games out at the time for me.
Yeah.
I did not like we were saying, I honestly wanted my penguin to look better.
I didn't mind what the penguins looked like because I had different plans of being on that game.
Oh my goodness.
My priorities were like real different at that time. Like, obviously I knew that there was no like dress to impress kind of thing. So like it wasn't going to be on that, but like I was on that game to wreak havoc. And that's my origin story. I don't troll on social media, like, but if you would have met me at like 7, you would have thought that like right now,
he would be a troll.
She's the girl behind those like fake accounts, commenting crazy stuff.
That's literally so freaking
because
funny.
when I tell you, I lived, and you're gonna hear this when we talk about later on the other games we played too. Yeah, I lived to be on those games, and like especially this was my favorite. This is my favorite. Because some people would get on Club Penguin and they would have like a boyfriend on Club Penguin. It's somebody they've never met. But like they're at the little pizza shop. The Club Penguin pizza shop having like a first date, like typing in the little thing where like everyone can see
at the pizzeria.
At the pizzeria. Yeah. And I would come over there and I would, penguins can do like certain dance moves. I would just start dancing. Like right in the middle of the conversation.
While you're having a date on a public chat, public forum.
On a public chat, public forum, and people would be like so annoyed. They would be sitting in the little chat bubble. It's like, hey, like get off our table. Yeah. Like, we're in the middle of a date. No response. Like, actually, I would do that. And then when they get up and move to a different table, give up. Like, I lived
my goodness.
to be a menace
so
on
funny.
these virtual worlds. Like,
Literally
that's
so
my
funny.
favorite thing. I'm like, someone's walking around and I'm like following them. And they're sitting in the chat bubble. They're like, stop following me. Like, who are you? Another like 8-year-old is like, what is going on?
I think what really made it so special was the lack of a response.
The lack of, like, that is what I was cracking up
It's
at.
the, like, being ominous. It's just like...
But it's also so funny because, like, the first couple of times I did it, it's like an adrenaline. Oh my gosh, no way, that laugh is ugly, but it was like an adrenaline rush.
Oh
like,
my gosh, that's
the
so
first
funny.
time I tried it, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is scary. What if they find out who I am or like what I'm doing at? You know, it's like those thought processes.
Yeah.
But then once you realize like that's never gonna happen, it's like, oh, I'm about to terrorize all the other elementary school kids on this game.
On this game. And honestly, it's so funny. Like, weren't you an elementary school kid yourself?
No, like,
How old were you when Clipping came out?
We were like 7. I'm like, I'm going to get all the other 7-year-olds.
Yeah.
Like, they're gonna have a terrible time.
They're gonna...
You thought you were live on today for like peace, and like there's another penguin following you.
There is a penguin literally being your shadow.
Yeah.
I feel like that was literally so funny. I feel like that's where you started. Clippingo was something that I feel like only one of us really played at a time because that was like the first game.
Yeah.
Remember, we had a family desktop and we had that 1 HP laptop.
Yeah.
Which was mine. But, you know, I took ownership of it.
Yeah.
But Club Penguin, we usually only played on the desktop.
Yeah.
So, like, every now and then, like, we'd watch you, but then it was, like, I wasn't really, like, up to, like, I didn't know what you were up to that hard. I think I figured out later that this
was, like, in my room, 7 years old. Crying, laughing.
Yeah.
Like, literally tears coming out my eyes. Like, this is the funniest thing. If you want to talk about an annoying child,
oh my God. Yes.
Like, this is actually the greatest thing to happen right now. That's the way I viewed it. Every day, it's like everyone else is like running to their computer to like log on and talk to their penguin friends. And I'm like running to the computer to like, who am I going to terrorize today? Like, who am I going to follow around? And like, oh my gosh, that was the highlight of my day.
It's actually so funny. Because I'm seeing this, it's like knowing the kind of person you were as a kid, and I think that just makes it 10 times funnier.
No, 100%.
I think it makes it 10 times funnier because you're not joking. I think you got pure joy.
No, like, this was like the highlight.
It was the highlight. Like, you got on Club Penguin, you terrorized people, and you had a good day.
I had a good day.
That was
like, I can log off and I'm like, job well done. Like, I clocked in and clocked out today. I put in the hours.
You put in the hours. I think that is literally so funny. But Club Penguin, yes, I do think it was really good. I think that another thing, like pros and cons. Pros, it was an icon, an originator. It was, I mean, it had some community. Cons, I did not like the games where you had to pay too much to have a decent experience. And I think that was like its biggest con.
Yeah, 100%. Because I feel like when it first started, it wasn't necessarily like that. But then it's like, dang, you had to have a membership to decorate your igloo. You had to have a membership to have a cool looking puffle. Like,
there wasn't any shortcuts. I know some of the other games that we've played that, like, if you played enough games or got enough points, you'd then be able to
then you could like buy the outfit that you want.
There were no shortcuts.
Like
you will not have a double size igloo.
Yeah.
If you did not spend $22.
Yeah. No,
literally. Like, that just wasn't going to happen.
And it just, like, I don't know how we got mom to, like, pay for that.
I don't know how we did it either.
I truly don't know.
I don't know how we did that. I think she saw the pure desperation in our eyes.
No, literally.
We needed that. I feel like, or we felt like we were going to be losers. Like, I feel like everyone had an upgraded
igloo. Penguins were walking around with outfits at this point.
Exactly.
I'm like, I can't take it anymore.
Even the little puffles had, like, little outfits and hats. You know what I mean? And who's going to tell me I can't deck out my puffle?
I can't have, like, this specific, like, limited edition color puffle.
Limited edition, the penguins are so cute. But I feel like, no, I wanted the double-sized igloo. I wanted the furniture, and that's what I'm saying. It got to a point with me on the app. I was like, I'm not going to be able to do that.
And then, like, with the paying, like, you could pay to be able to say more things and not just.
Oh, was that true?
Do you remember that?
Because that was literally going to be my second con.
They definitely had, like, okay, hate speech was blocked because I remember you couldn't say, like, shut up to me.
Yeah, that was unfortunate.
Yeah, that was because I was like, that was going to be,
I came here to hate. Yeah.
If I came here to ruin people's experience, how could I do that without being able to say?
And so that's why you were the silent troll.
Yeah, that's why I was just, and I think that honestly, I'm better for it. No, literally, I think I'm better for it because I think that if we could say crazy things, I would have turned into someone who comments like crazy things on Instagram. Yeah. But because I'm not used to that, that's not my lifestyle. Yeah. I don't do stuff like that. Yeah, exactly. But like when it comes to small behind the scenes things that nobody is seeing, like it's just me and this person. It's just me
just standing in the corner
and my next victim.
And you're next.
And like no words are being said.
No words are being said, and it's nothing but like the thoughts in their own head.
The thoughts in their own head, and like I was being reported like 12 times a day. No, literally. Oh, the amount of like reporting.
Oh my goodness.
I was being flagged and reported constantly.
How did you even survive on the app?
And like, so crazy. It is what it is.
Look, guys, Club Penguin ended when they started doing that whole game with the cards.
I love that game.
That was excellent. Until after that, there was nothing else.
When you're like in the temple, like,
they hit a glass ceiling.
Yeah.
From that to what? That was absolutely an insane plot twist.
It was.
It was really good. I think that was the most fun game on there.
It was. Oh my gosh, I forgot to add if we're looking at our list, there's a game that I forgot to add that like we definitely have to add.
Okay. Is she's post Club Penguin, obviously.
Post Club Penguin, but okay. We got to move on to the next one.
Yeah, there's something you didn't put on here. I got to put in there.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
Anyways, number 2, Fantage.
Honestly,
this is one
we played OurWorld before we played Fantage.
No, we played Fantage first.
Fantage, you know what? We spun the block with Fantage.
We spun the block with Fantage.
We played that twice. We
continue to play it even when we started playing OurWorld.
That's so true.
But like Fantage, look at how like kiddie the things like we did Fantage first.
Yeah, it was different though. It actually grew when we came back around.
Yeah,
it was when we first started Fantage. It was definitely like they looked a little bit younger.
I wonder if the girls know about Fantage.
Do you?
Yeah, like
I wonder because I feel like at least not in the beginning.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Fantage kind of outlived a lot of these on here.
It did.
So I do think it was one that like it went up.
Yeah.
But when we first started it, it was just fun to be cute. Mm-hmm. And I think Fantage was one of those games.
The characters are so cute. And then you're on the little like flying hoverboard. That's cutest. Like, it was one of those games that even though like to get super cool stuff you had to pay, the stuff that you didn't have to pay for was you could still serve.
No, honey. Fantage was a show where our game where I was gathering. I don't know where I was getting my clothes from.
Yeah,
I have like limited memory.
Yeah,
but when it came to a season where they created this game on Fantage, which was the original Dress to Impress.
It was the original Dress to Impress.
Fantage was the original Dress to Impress.
The little video game, you get in there.
They
tell you the theme. And you have like 10 seconds.
You have 10 seconds to put that shit on.
To put it on. And so
that's exactly what we did.
Yeah.
And I used to be winning. Yeah, I'm not 100%. Sure what else to say.
And if somebody else won, it was really on some crazy stuff.
It was on some crazy stuff, and I had a lot to say about it.
They would be like, if you win, like if you lose, you have to get out. Back to my trolling era. I'm staying in there. I would literally still be in there, and they'll be like, "Get out, get out." I'm not gonna say my username because like I don't want people to.
Don't worry about it.
But they'll be like, "Bleep, like you have to leave." No response.
If I'm not mistaken, do you remember? I know Fantage was a lot more like loose and like the things that we could say.
Yeah.
Although I will say, out of all of them, I think Fantage is the one that I didn't communicate with people out
No,
there.
I was like never talking to people. I remember games sometimes we were playing games. Sometimes I would talk to people like on the dress up game.
Yeah, I think that was the most social I had ever been.
That was the only time I would be social. But other than that, I would play that fishing game constantly.
I was living in that fishing game.
Yeah, so it's kind of like I didn't have nothing to say to these people.
I think for me, I was like, I'd play the little Fantage version Dress to Impress, and then I would lose and immediately turn around and be a judge and literally ruin people's day.
Ruin people's day because
I
also loved it. Was so easy. Like you come in and you can host.
Yeah. You can host and then you make your own themes.
Yeah, you make your own themes. Fun. Yeah, doing that was super fun.
I don't think they didn't get that copyrighted because what I'm trying to say is that is what Dress to Impress was.
Literally.
Is it not the same thing? I've never played.
Never played Dress to Impress. I don't have to. I get what the people are saying.
I get the gist. It's the same thing.
Literally. I mean, and I get why people our age are like on Roblox playing Dress to Impress because if Fantage was still around,
they would be doing that.
During my free time, I would be on there
playing it.
Playing that
it's
game.
A very fun thing to do. I'm not judging you. It's fun to put a whole bunch of clothes on to fit a specific theme and then
when after you finish customizing yours, you get off and you see what everybody else put on and you're like, dang.
Yes, you're either saying dang or you're like, I body.
Or you're like, I ate.
I body. No, and that's the thing. I used to live for that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what made us ever stop playing, but that had me on there for like a solid 2 years.
Yeah.
Growing up.
100%.
And I feel like as far as like, we played so many games, so 2 years is a long time.
Yeah.
Our attention spans were
they were
short for that time period.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have Fantage. We spun the block on that one, but that one was kind of like the second game we got into. Mm-hmm. The next one was OurWorld.
OurWorld.
It was OurWorld because I remember somebody that I knew in middle school put me on.
Yeah, I was about to say, I feel like a lot of people played that one.
A lot of people played it. Once again, also in hoverboards. I don't know what the deal
what the hoverboard thing was, but this one was so much more like preteen oriented because your character looked like a teen.
And guess what? That was the only good thing about it.
I liked that you like the little circle at the bottom. Like you would level up.
Yeah, but do you know how much
buy
work
things?
we had to put into?
You had to put in so much work. We were clocking in hours at the diner.
We were clocking in hours. We were putting our stuff on, getting ready for our shift, and serving people.
We were baking at the bakery. Come on now.
And it wasn't even real food being made.
No.
You couldn't actually eat. So it got to a point where that one felt stressful.
Yeah. It was like we're doing all this stuff to level up for what? To get to the boardwalk and like look better than everybody?
To look better than everybody. And it was, once again, it's one where it's impossible. You're not going to have like the hoverboard with lasers shooting out of it like this rich kid next to you.
No.
She's got the shades on. You remember like what were those shades? Like the blind looking shades that were in at the time? Mm-hmm. You don't have those. You don't have like the furry... gloves and the moon boots that was actually, they were all in, and then like a hat with like wings on it.
Yeah.
That I just
gosh, no, you just reminded me because we could have wings.
We could have wings.
No, I lived for the wings. I did live for the wings. I feel like it was, you couldn't serve that.
No. Some of them were serving like Megan Fox.
But like some of them, like you get to the boardwalk and it's like you're doing way too much. Like you're glowing. Because we used to be able to glow.
Yeah.
You're glowing. Your hoverboard is like huge. Mm-hmm. You're wearing like all white. You have like 2 sets of wings on, like glasses, a whole bunch of chains.
And
like
you look like you're just like, it's a snow outfit for some reason.
Yeah.
That was just really in at the time.
That was really in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was just a lot of people were doing a little bit too much.
And once again, don't remember talking to anybody.
No.
It's just like, I think I've noticed that the ones where I interacted with people the least were the ones I didn't spend as much time on them.
I actually might have spoken to people in OurWorld low key.
That's cool.
I feel like I did talk to people in OurWorld. I did less trolling on this one. I was actually like making genuine friends.
We were genuinely on there playing. Like, to be fair, I keep saying I wasn't talking to anybody. I have no recollection.
Yeah.
For these early ones, I'm sorry. If I was, it wasn't making that much of an impact.
It wasn't, yeah.
Hey, I still had fun. So I feel like at the end of the day,
it was cool. It was chill.
It was cool. I feel like it was a little key.
It was a little key, and like the worlds on there weren't too bad. I can literally only think of one world.
I can only see the boardwalk and the diner.
I see the boardwalk, and I see the little forest where the bakery was. The bakery was like in a little area that was kind of like dark. I don't know if it was like a cave.
Yeah.
I want to say forest or cave or something like that. Mm-hmm. That's the only thing. I used to play that bakery game a lot because I liked that the bakeries were like pink.
Yeah. Yeah.
But honestly, that is what it is. I can't even think of, other than those 2 games, I don't even know what the other games were. I know there was like a restaurant on the boardwalk.
There was a restaurant,
but we would never...
I don't think we could play in that one.
Yeah, we never hung out in there.
Also, special shout out. I don't remember the name of this game that we used to play.
Yeah.
Do you remember the, like... I want to say like it was like a Millsberry.
It was literally, I think it was called like Millsberry.
Millsberry, okay.
The one that was on the cereal boxes.
Back of the cereal box.
Yeah.
Real ones know.
They know. That was one that was really niche. Like,
it was so
you had to be really into like virtual games to play that one.
You had to buy, what was the specific cereal box it was on the back of though?
I have no clue.
Are we talking like, I feel like there was a specific one.
Because it was like on a niche cereal box.
It was, I was about to say.
It was on one of the cereal boxes that we didn't get very often.
I was about to say, it was no Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
No.
It wasn't something like that.
No.
I mean, I don't know, maybe at some point, was it the General Mills cereal? What's under the General Mills? Because that's Millsberry. So it was under one of the General Mills cereals.
Yeah, one of the General Mills. The fact that you even know that General Mills is a cereal, I would have never thought about that.
Well, yeah, I go deep into cereal.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's General Mills. It was probably on like Reese's or... Actually, I don't know. I'm just talking.
Yeah, I don't know.
Captain Crunch.
Maybe
it was one of the cereals that we didn't get a lot.
One of the ones, and now it's literally feeling like Captain Crunch.
It might have been Captain
Crunch. It was Captain Crunch.
It was probably Captain
Crunch. We ate Captain Crunch a lot, but not at our house. Mm-hmm. At our cousin's house.
Mind you, we play this back. We figure out Captain Crunch is Kellogg's. I don't know.
No, but literally, like I can only think of Captain Crunch and like Pops, maybe like just Pops.
Oh my God, and it could have been something like Pops too, just because of the fact that we did not get that often.
Yeah, like we grew out of Pops. We used to get Pops like all the time for like a year, and then we stopped.
I'm gonna look this up at some point. I'm gonna fact check that later. But no, Millsberry was really fun. It was you couldn't do that much. It was definitely one of those games that was a lot more restricted.
Yeah.
It was just for the love of the craft, really. It was
literally it was because like you love to decorate a character, decorate your home.
You had a home.
And like hit the street.
And like see what's up. What games do you guys have here?
Yeah.
It was really that.
No, literally.
And I want to put, because you didn't put this on here either, an honorable mention, honorable, for the
Build-A-Bear.
Build-A-Bear game.
I knew you were going to say the Build-A-Bear game.
We don't have too much to talk about because it's like a distant memory.
Yeah.
But that game was so fun.
Yeah.
It was so fun. And when we figured out, because I love Build-A-Bear, when we figured out it was a game, I was like, what's all this?
Yeah.
And it was really cute. It wasn't one that you can really interact when I was playing it.
Yeah.
It did get better. You couldn't really interact with other people. It's just like you're just in your own world.
You're in your own thing, and like that's cool too.
Yeah, but I just remember being a photographer in like the forest. And you had to get good pictures of the animals.
I remember
Do you
that.
remember that
Wait,
game?
because I feel like I have the least amount of memory from Build-A-Bear other than like you and Lauren. Like y'all were like locked in, but I think I was still like a lot younger when we were on that. But that just brought back like a crazy memory.
Like if it was a flying bird, you had to get it right in the center. Yeah. And the best photos means you won the game.
Whoa, yeah.
Yeah, no, I feel like that to me really brought it out of me. Yeah. The inner photographer in me was like, love this game.
Love it.
I remember getting on like the train to go to like different little towns. I don't know why. I don't know if I played this in the fall. Everything I ever did in the fall growing up really sits with me.
Oh my gosh, what you're saying is literally reminding me of the Tinkerbell game. We literally, like, I didn't write that down, but like the Tinkerbell game.
The Tinkerbell
Because the fall, like the area with like all the trees and like you're flying around in the trees. First of all, my outfit was killer. It was to die for. But like the Tinkerbell game was so good.
Miss Tinkerbella?
Yeah.
She was the best.
Yeah.
She was the best. And I feel like I don't remember any other girls' names.
Me either. I remember what they look like though. Oh, Fawn, yeah.
It's one of them.
I remember the looks. The Tinkerbell game was like so much fun.
The Tinkerbell game was so much fun. I loved her and her baddies. It was a game for the girls. And I think like, didn't talk to a lot of people. It was just fun playing the little tinkering games.
Yeah.
I like the one that had like the garden.
Do I remember
you like the girl with the blue dress?
I love the one with the blue dress that did the water. Yeah, because that was just cool to me. But I don't remember the games on there.
I don't remember a single game. I just knew I was having fun.
Yeah.
I think what was interesting about the Tinkerbell game, though, is that you can make your little fairy look very pretty. Yeah. And then it was like the design for the time. It was really advanced.
Yeah, the visuals are really nice.
It was very pretty.
They were great.
So I don't remember a single game on there. I just know I was having fun.
Yeah, it was for the girls.
Just know I was having fun. Me and the girls loved it. What's next?
What else? Oh my gosh. Maybe we'll talk about... Actually, let's talk about Y8 first. I was going to say something else, but...
I'm surprised you went into it. Did you see what I added on there? Because I added number 9.
Number 9? No, I added number 9.
No, I added number 9.
Oh, you added number 10 because I added number 10 at number 4.
Oh.
Yeah, you added number 10. I had already added it at number 4.
Oh.
Anyways, if we talk about... Yeah. Okay, that's what I was going to say, number 4, but let's talk about Y8 first.
Yeah.
And then we'll get into number 4.
And then we'll get into number 4.
We found Y8 first and then got into this next one.
Okay.
I don't know if y'all knew. I mean, obviously, if you weren't playing video games growing up on the computer a lot. Yeah. Or if you were playing actual video games that come in like CDs and stuff, then like you didn't know this. But if you didn't have like a Wii or an Xbox, which we didn't at this time, like this was a site to go to. You go to Y8.
You go to y8.com.
And it has like every video game you've ever heard of.
Everything you've ever heard of. And it went crazy.
And like things that you haven't heard of. It was honestly, it felt like a place where like people publish video games and they're like people who just want to make video games.
And mind you, that could totally be true. We have no way of knowing that.
We have no way of knowing. Like it felt like one of those sites where like people who are getting into like game development, like just go and like post stuff.
And post their
practice.
game. And God bless them for that.
God bless them, because that McDonald's video game where you're literally running the McDonald's corporation.
And the most stressful thing I've ever
Your
done.
cows are like dying from
the cows are getting sick. You have to answer to the press.
Yeah, you have to answer to the press. The businessmen are like getting angry.
The marketing team has no clue what they're doing.
Yeah,
and you're 10.
Gosh, you're 10. And you're 10 and you're running this entire business. You're going from screen to screen, like trying to help the marketing team. Then you come back and you see all your cows are dead.
All your cows are dead. You're going now to the front of the store. Your customers are mad.
Your customers are mad
They're
because
demanding
no
burgers.
one's getting their burgers.
No one's getting their burgers.
And then people are getting their burgers and getting sick because
you're
it's not
burgers and getting sick. You're back to the farm. And now you're trying to get more cows.
You're trying to get more cows. You get up to the office and like the businessmen, like you just see like the lines, like the stocks.
You see the lines going down. You see pie charts. You have no clue what it means.
And then Ronald McDonald comes in and fires you.
And you're 10.
And you're 10. All of this happening in your 10.
All of this happening in your 10. It was the most stressful game I played on there.
So stressful.
It was so stressful, y'all. What is the name of this McDonald's game? We don't know.
Oh my gosh.
It was really good.
It like literally you are, the weight of the world is on your shoulders.
On your shoulders, and you have to run this business, and you've never done something like this in your life. At this grand scale.
At this grand
McDonald's?
scale. Like, you're a CEO.
You're a CEO.
Wow.
And every time we played it, we ran it into the ground.
No, we ran it straight into the ground.
Every time we played it, we ran it into the ground. I'm like, I'm not sure what that was.
I'm like, I'm not feeding my cows. My chickens are dead. Like,
and yet that was a really good game.
That was such a good game.
And yet fond memories. Fond memories. Do you remember the one that we played? Oh my gosh.
I feel like I know what you're going to say.
Do you?
I don't remember the name of it though.
Okay, like let's see if you do know though. The one where you are trying to keep your relationship together for dear life. Okay, so I don't know what the rest of the show was about.
Yeah.
Or like the rest of the game, sorry.
Yeah.
But you are like, you start off this game and you're in a relationship with this guy.
Yeah.
And so then like your character is like, has to like get a job here.
Yeah, you're like in a little town.
You're in the town, and every time you do something, it takes away from their hours. It's kind of built like Sims, but it doesn't look anything like Sims.
Yeah.
When you work, you can see her getting tired. You can see her.
Yeah, the town is like a little square. Like
the town is a little square. It's one tiny square.
It's like your house, the restaurant, the hospital, the bank. Oh my gosh, what was the name of that?
I don't know, but
I completely forgot the relationship aspect. But that was like
that was why I was playing.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what everybody else is doing.
Yeah,
maybe you were trying to actually have a job and keep that going. I wanted to keep my man happy. Yeah. And I never was able to
do it. Like, he's done.
No, he's like, you work too much.
You worked an extra hour at work and he's done
through with you. He's broke. Now you've lost your man, and that's the point of the game.
And that's the whole point.
Because I want to say the game was built off of the relationship. Yeah. It was how to keep the relationship
It was
going.
like you had to keep the relationship. You have to like keep your job and not get fired. It was like a lot of stuff.
Like
you had to pay your rent.
You had to pay
stuff.
So you had to get the right job to be able to pay the rent.
Yes, you had to make enough money. Oh my gosh, I remember that.
We got to figure out the names of these things.
Oh my gosh, no, we really do, because that one's like a deep core memory.
I can't even believe I unlocked it. I didn't remember it until we just started talking about Y8.
And then literally the racing game where you're in the car.
Okay, so it's actually like we live the same life, because that was also the third most popular one that I feel like we played. Mm-hmm. And that one was really funny too. We just were never good at racing games.
Me?
I said we.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think...
I like that one, but we used to go crazy on that game. Remember? It was really hard, though. We
played it for a long time.
We put so many hours into that game.
That's what it is.
Because then, like, we would drive. We got to a point where we were at a different part of the map that we had never been on before.
We've never been on before.
We were like, well, we've been
new
going
territory
for so long.
Yeah. No, that was a good game.
That was a really good one.
That was a really good one. I don't remember, but it's like every second someone was chasing you.
Everyone, like, there's the black cars are, like, coming behind you.
The black cars are coming behind you.
And we were, like, in a yellow, like, racing car.
It was very stressful.
It was very stressful.
It was very stressful, but it was fun.
Stressful games, yeah.
It was fun.
Of course, all the dress-up games. Every single game, like, you get someone, you're doing their nails, like, better makeup, better haircut, like... Period.
Better makeup, haircut, move it to the side, next game. Because the ones with the nails... Yeah. And the nails only...
And the nail design.
The nails only. Oh my gosh, that was a really fun one.
No, the one when you're... The haircuts only.
The haircuts only. Like, I'm like, so what's next?
What's next?
Those were very easy, and they were updating those on, like, a consistent regular basis.
There were like 50,000 of them.
There were 50,000, so you never got bored with that.
No.
And I'm thinking like Y8 for real, guys, because we spent so much time playing these games.
Yeah.
Is there any other one that like comes to your mind?
Yeah, I remember the one. I don't know if you guys played it, but like you're a Japanese schoolgirl and you're like zapping the guys to fall in love with you, and then they like float behind you once you zap them.
Never played that one.
Really?
No, that's
you're like walking in the hallway and like the guys are like walking towards you and you like zap them, and then like he goes and like floats behind.
That's
you.
beautiful.
Like, zap.
No, that's really amazing.
Love that game.
That actually sounds really fun.
Yeah.
No, I never played that one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. A part of me feels like, oh my gosh, I just unlocked a crazy memory. Do you remember? I don't know where this game came from. Actually, I think it was on Y8, but it was sponsored by something else.
Yeah.
There was a game that we played, and it was like a Halloween game. And mind you, the people looked like, you know what I'm talking about?
They were like
tiny
short
people.
Things.
Yes.
Yeah.
They were not Legos, but they looked like.
They looked like Legos. Yeah.
It was like our version of that, like early on version of that.
Mm-hmm.
And so you played and they had different versions.
Oh my gosh, wasn't it sponsored by like Party City or like
it was
Halloween
literally something like that. It was something like that in like the real world. And it was like they had like a Halloween version.
Yes.
And like you were in the haunted house.
Yes.
And you were trying to figure out who killed this person.
Ooh, yes. That was a good one.
That just came back to me.
No way.
That just came back to me.
That was a good one.
I don't think we ever finished those to get to all the way to the end.
Yeah.
But it was fun.
Yeah.
I wish we knew who sponsored that.
Yeah, that was a good one. Because we could probably still find it.
We could definitely still find it. I doubt you could still play it.
Yeah.
Because it was just the tiniest bit dated even when we were playing it.
Yeah.
But I had so much fun walking all throughout the house trying to figure out like who
Like,
done
what
did it.
happened? Who
No,
done it?
it was definitely that was really fun.
No, it really was.
That was one of my favorites because I'm like, I got on Y8 and I would type in my favorite ones. I went straight to it.
Yeah.
No need to look at the main page, the second one.
And then it was like, why? There were so many, like, it was sponsored for kids, but there were so many inappropriate games on there.
It was way too many inappropriate
It was
games.
like so many games where you're playing, you're like, oh, this character is naked now. Like,
yeah.
And we would just like either click off or be like, what the heck?
Yeah, no, 100%. There was a lot of that. There was a lot of
Oh my gosh, wait, I just thought of one and I can't remember what it was. It was a video game where we would fight each other and the characters were like,
oh my gosh.
like a trash can.
I was just about to say, was it like an apple and like
yes.
Oh, that
one was like
crazy.
a trash can, another one was like an apple.
I remember that.
That game was crazy.
That was an insane game.
No, it really was.
What was that?
I feel like this whole video we're just saying like insiders. I hope people are like know what we're talking about. But like,
no, that's facts.
No, that was crazy.
It was that was a really good game.
Yeah, no, it was.
Wow, it's like no, seriously, it's like childhood.
No, it is. That was our now Y8 was the one, like we're naming all these virtual games, but like Y8 carried us through the entire childhood.
Yeah.
Because we never stopped playing it because there's like endless games in there.
There were endless games, so we definitely kept revisiting this.
Yeah.
We would be on Y8 constantly. And then sometimes Y8 kind of took you off on a tangent to something else, but you always come home.
Yeah.
And what was the other one? We played Y8 and there was another website we would go to play games.
Cool Math?
No.
Oh, sorry.
It was literally, I feel like it started with an M. Remember, it was Y8 and it was
well, we played on my scenes.
No, I'm talking about like it was like Y8 where it had games on it as well.
Yeah.
I almost want to like
oh
look
my
it
gosh,
up.
wait, I think I remember.
You know what I'm
I
talking
used to
about?
play a game where like it was snowing or like you're in the snow.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Like,
it was one of those other sites.
yeah, 100%.
I can't remember the name, but Y8 was definitely like the number one.
Oh, it's so funny because I actually see Y8 on here. Mini clips.
Oh my gosh, mini clips,
girls.
Whoa. No,
Mini
now
clip.
that's unlocking a memory.
Wait, Leah, but like no, I'm like, what are the mini clip games that we were playing on here? Let's see, do they have anything?
There was a mini clip game. All I remember is snow, and I remember like shooting people. No, literally.
It's us playing like the most violent games.
No, constantly.
Like we would have gotten in so much trouble. Okay, I'm not seeing any of the games that I played, so clearly these are all the games that
new ones.
no real people were playing these games.
No.
But no, Mini Clip had like some really fun stuff on there.
No, they really did.
I feel like we played a game where we were doing what's that thing called when people like run off and jump off roofs? Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, parkour.
There was like a parkour game that we played at some point.
Oh my gosh, yeah, because the guy would like hit his body and his arms would just Yeah, we used to watch. We used to play.
Don't remember what that was on.
Yeah, it was on Y8.
It was on Y8.
Yeah, that was a
Random
strange
thought.
game.
Yeah. I don't know why we
Didn't we play a game that was kind of like a virtual version of like America's Next Top Model? Or I'm tripping.
That's a possibility.
I feel like we did. I feel like there was one like that.
No, it sounds like something we would do.
Yeah.
But
yeah, Y8 was cool.
Also really random. I did my hair and I have stains on my pants. If you see it, no, you don't.
Mm-hmm.
Just want to say that.
And that's that. Now we can move on to
the next one.
Now,
wait, what's the next one? Stop.
I know
the next one.
Number 4. It's number 4.
No, because like you see, my thing is actually not updating. So my number 4 was Club Penguin.
Okay, well, it's a different number 4. It's the one you added as number 10 at the bottom.
Yeah.
Which is like your number 9.
Is she next? Really?
She's next. And I could talk about her for years. I could talk about her for years. I know that your number 1 is different from mine.
For sure.
Which is like, the other one is like, your number 1 is, I will admit that it is the real number 1.
It's the number 1.
But this was the number 1 in my heart.
It was the number 1 in your heart. I mean, you love this game.
I love this game. And like, when it I think it doesn't exist anymore, that actually killed me. It did. And I hadn't even played it for years. But like when I saw that online, that killed me. This is one of the ones that are more popular. Like everybody played this because I saw it on Twitter when it was like going away. And
when it was finally going off, people were sick.
Poptropica, there's nothing like it. There was nothing like it when it was out, and there's still nothing like it today.
It was definitely for the kids. It was for the kids.
It was for everyone. And it was innovative.
Uh-huh.
It had never been done before.
Yeah.
It was literally like, if you want to talk about something that really impacted me in my childhood, it was Poptropica.
And like that's the thing about Poptropica. I think what I remember with it, besides like the little ant-looking creatures, was that like you had to solve those mysteries in each world.
Yeah, and I just feel like you weren't into the Poptropica.
So I think that's
that's what it was. Maybe Lauren was, our older sister. Because she was solving stuff and I was solving stuff too.
I love solving the stuff.
But I mean, like,
I didn't like it outside of solving stuff. Once I figured out I could solve stuff, I was in there.
I love that you could click someone and like take their exact outfit. I like that.
See, I didn't remember that.
I didn't. Now, one thing I didn't do, I didn't troll on Poptropica because it was serious to me. I was making real friends about
that. Is so
for real. Like I was linking up with people. I was asking about like mysteries. Like, did you do this one? Did I do that one?
You were trying to figure out how to find the answers to the other mysteries.
I was trying to find the answers.
So fucking hard.
It really was.
It was.
But like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, what other kids game do you know that's out right now where you have to like solve? I mean, these mysteries weren't just like find the killer, like find such. It is so deep. You're working on this one mystery for like 3 days.
You're working on it for 3 days. Like I never finished the medieval one.
Oh, I remember finishing the bunny one, where it's like the bunny was evil.
Yeah.
I was doing the time travel one.
That one was it was
time
hard.
So hard.
It was. I think that's like the thing for me too. I saw Poptropica as a kid game, and they added the mysteries, and then it got hard.
Wait, do you mean medieval? The one where they were like not medieval, but like the miners?
No, I'm talking about knights.
Oh, knights! No, not that one.
Dungeons and Dragons.
I remember the one where like you almost like Oregon Trail type vibe.
Oh no, that one.
Yeah, I remember solving that one. That one took me a long time. But yeah,
we solved one. It wasn't like a diner, but it was like all American type.
Wasn't that the bunny one? No, that wasn't the bunny one.
I think it was the one based off of like an actual book or something.
Yeah, like like you're.
There was one, and it was like written.
And there was one that was like a comic.
That's what I'm talking about, the comic book.
Oh no, I don't think the diner was the comic.
Okay,
we're mixing stuff.
No, we're mixing stuff up, and we don't know what we're talking about.
We don't know, but that game. Loved it down.
It was
loved
really
Poptropica town.
It was really good,
and I loved that the maps kept expanding.
The maps kept like where it started, because that's the thing.
There was like 5 different places to go when it first started.
When it first started, we got in the very beginning of Poptropica.
Literally
put us on. So I think that's why I wasn't interested. When I came back, it was so expanded.
It was like
and there
20
were so
different worlds. It was crazy. And then that was another thing with Poptropica. And I can't say this for sure because maybe I'm wrong, but like you didn't really have to pay for anything.
No, it was nothing to pay for.
No, and I love that.
It was more like you're really just playing the game.
Yeah, and that was another one because there were other things to do. I wasn't focused on what my Poptropica person looked like.
No, really? Like I feel like that's
the last thing I'm thinking about.
It's the last thing I'm thinking about. Plus, like I said, they literally look like walking ants, so it wasn't a way to make.
No, you couldn't like look super cute.
You couldn't make anything with that.
No,
and like I was cool with it because that's not why you were playing. So I feel like that. Rest in peace to Poptropica. She got us through some hard times. I think if I had, that's one of the games I will say. I didn't play it a lot, but if I had the chance to spin the block and run it up like a quick little hour or so, I would definitely.
Little hour. If Poptropica came back, it would be really bad for me.
It would be.
No, like all my time would be spent on that.
And I would at least like, don't give me a murder to solve.
No,
because I'm going to spend all of my days trying to figure it out.
Yep.
And we love that one.
Yeah.
We love that one. What else do we have here? Barbie.
Let's do Barbie and my scenes.
Barbie and my scenes together.
Because I forgot to write down my scenes. But like the Barbie world, the one where the people says were like square.
Yeah, that was good.
8 down.
Yeah. Very good. Real girls were playing it. We were all playing it.
Yeah, we were.
We were all playing it. I don't think it was like, it didn't even feel like something like a subcategory.
No.
We all knew about it, right?
Yeah, the Barbie game?
It was fun.
I wish we could remember like the exact name, but.
Well, there wasn't one. I think it was like, it was the Barbie game and they never expanded on it as much as you would have thought.
Yeah.
I think that they created it, possibly thought they were going to get more people. Mm-hmm. And for some reason it never took off.
Yeah.
Because I don't remember there ever being different options for like the little pit house. You come in.
And honestly, I think that they made it too late. It was kind of the ones we started playing later, or maybe we were just late to it. But they didn't. They should have started that off like when virtual games first started. That was easily made in like 2008, and I'm like, we've been out here playing.
We've been out here, and it was too late by then, and it wasn't enough that you can do to your character.
Yeah.
And like everyone knows, if you're gonna do a thing based on Barbie, it has to be the most options possible.
Yeah.
We want to be able to style and profile. We want to be able to mix and match and like really like, like make her look good.
Yeah.
Trick her out for sure. And I feel like that is one that you were not really able to do that.
No, not too often, which is crazy.
Which it is. And I think like it sucks. Maybe they'll revamp that for the younger kids.
Yeah.
They should. They won't. My Scenes website.
Talk about like creating your own room, your dream Y2K room.
Yes.
Your dream Y2K nails.
Wow.
Dream Y2K wardrobe.
Yes.
Like that was the site where you go and you create your whole life.
Girl, I used to literally get on that thing like when you get to like dress the girl and put some highlights in that
Oh
hair.
my gosh, highlights. Crazy. The hair is black, the highlights are
gold,
blonde.
Yeah.
Like white blonde,
or like it was bad.
It was bad.
I think for me, we all know you were either a My Scenes girl, a Barbie girl, or you were a Bratz girl.
Yeah.
And I think really you could kind of be a mix, but I think
you can dabble in all three, but there's like one where you're like, this is me. And like these are the side ones.
I don't know. It's so crazy because I think we were raised on Bratz.
Yeah, we were.
We definitely were not Barbie girls.
No, we weren't.
We weren't Barbie girls. No. And that's just simple. I didn't see myself.
We watched some of the Barbie movies, but like that's it.
The Barbie movies went crazy. Yeah. But we all know that.
Yeah.
I feel like it's more about like enjoying like the lifestyle that's being sold.
Yeah.
I think Bratz were just more fashionable, and we love the Bratz movies as well.
Oh my gosh, we love the Bratz movies down.
They were so freaking hilarious.
So funny. They were really good. But like Bratz were just more relatable to our experience.
Bratz were more relatable to our experience, and the girls were living the dream, and it was somebody from each race. What are you talking about?
Yeah, come on.
It didn't get any better than that.
Didn't. And then the girls, like the makeup was always on point. The
makeup was on point. I always thought like I could find my group like that.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted.
My fully diverse, beautiful group.
My representation group.
Yeah.
We were all going to give something.
We were all one. But what we can't play is that we were also low-key My Scenes girls.
100%.
Because My Scenes jamming in Jamaica.
Oh my God, please. Guys, did you see it? Like, that was one of the best movies that came out during that time.
One of the best little like doll movies. Not that came out at that time, like ever created. I'll put it up against any Barbie movie.
Put it up. They'll get you with Barbie and the Nutcracker.
I'll
Jamaica. It's going to win.
In Jamaica was like such a good movie.
You could watch it to this day and learn something.
To this day, but not just learn something, like the drama.
The drama.
It wasn't even like really anything to learn.
It all unfolded. It was something to learn if you're an awful friend.
I mean, if you're a bad friend, you learn more about friendship, especially between girls.
Yeah.
But like, it was so real, and it gave me something to look forward to. I'm like, oh, when I become a teenager with my friends, like, we're all gonna go to Jamaica and like have fun.
Guys, I went to Jamaica and it was nothing like that.
No, it was nothing. It was nothing like that.
And like, fair, I stayed on the resort mostly the whole time. Yeah. It still was nothing like the movie.
The Jammin' in Jamaica movie was giving Hawaii, if anything.
It was giving Hawaii. They went to the wrong place. The scenes were not even there. It wasn't even the same thing.
It wasn't the same.
Anyways, the movie itself was excellent.
So good.
And then like
music. I was about to say, having a boyfriend in a band, and first of all, the band songs going that crazy.
Don't play with me because one of the songs are on my phone.
No, literally, Apple Music.
Yeah, the songs went crazy. Oh my gosh, yeah.
No, it makes me want to cry.
It's like such a summer vibe.
That's another like movie that made me think like, oh, I'm gonna have such a big friend group growing up. And
no, because I think naturally like growing up, when we were younger, Bratz was obviously like represented us, but My Scenes represented who we wanted to be.
Who we wanted to
be. Like when you get older. It
was definitely like in the future because the girls were older.
It was like young people's version of Sex and the City.
100%.
Right?
I didn't even think about it like that.
I really think that's what it would be. Yeah.
No, yeah.
It's like us looking at. Yeah.
It was definitely like, like me and my girls.
Me and my girls. And like that's what you wanted your like young adult life, your teen life to look like. Because I would even say, I say, they were more young adults. They were like graduating college.
They were like.
That's what I wanted.
20.
They were like 20.
Yeah. And Bratz were like 14.
I don't know. 16 maybe?
No, not even 16. They were young.
I mean, they were in high school.
Yeah,
but it depends on what movie you were watching.
I think they were like freshmen in high school. That's what it was giving me.
That sucks.
Yeah, because they liked guys in the show that were like older than them.
It's a bad time.
Yeah.
No, it was good.
Yeah.
My scenes, Bratz, Barbie, Bratz girls, my scenes coded, Barbie for the movies.
Yeah.
Period. I feel like that's the only way to go about that.
The only way.
Okay, so we did Barbie, we did Poptropica, Bratz. Bratz didn't really have their own thing that we know of, obviously.
Yeah.
Now let's get into
our last three.
OurWorld.
Onverse. We did OurWorld.
Okay, yeah, we did. Oops. Sorry, JK.
Okay.
Onverse! Oh my gosh! So, Onverse? Really good, guys. This was a really, 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 really good game.
Yeah.
This was towards the end of our playing virtual games online.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was like really one of the last ones.
This was one of the last ones. Yeah, for sure. This one was a trip, y'all.
No, it was.
Did y'all play Onverse?
Did y'all play Onverse? Because first of all, going to the club.
Yeah.
Going to the club on Onverse and dancing to that music. First of all, her mixtape is on Apple Music.
Okay, so literally, this is actually so funny that we're talking about this now.
Yeah.
About a year ago, we sat in this apartment, and we literally looked up the songs that were on Onverse.
It was like 6 months ago. It wasn't even a year.
Literally, it was that serious because it was in our heads, and we're like, "What is this song? Where did we get this from?
Where did we get this?"
We played this mess out loud, and she eats down to this day.
She eats down to this day. If you played Onverse and you ever went to the club, whoever that woman. The mixtape that was downloaded into that video game.
It was downloaded into the video game.
She went crazy.
I want her to know that someone should have signed her.
Someone should have signed her, but also I want her to know that she had 2 fans in us. At the ripe age of like 9.
At the right age.
Like I was a fan of her.
No, she was getting me turned up in the club.
No, like,
I want her to understand that.
But if I could have, she would have made millions off of me.
She would have made millions off of me alone.
Yeah.
I would have built her career from the ground up. She was literally so good.
Yeah.
They were hits. I'm sorry, those were like club bangers.
No, they were.
If you will, those were club bangers. Yes, they were.
And I love that on Onverse, like you could dance. And the dances were like so extensive. Like talk about, what is it, that game that like all the kids played like a couple years ago?
I only know Minecraft and Roblox.
The one where you would do like...
I don't know. What was that? Minecraft?
No, you know this one.
I know what you're talking about. It's the one. It's the other one.
It's the one where you can have like certain skins. Like you can change like...
What's the name of this game?
You know what I'm talking about.
I hate to say how like untapped in I am.
Okay, wait, hold on, because now I have to Google it because I'm telling you...
It was like, the other one. I know what you're talking about. I literally can see it.
I just feel like Onverse paved the way for this game. This is like an actual video game. Like
yeah.
One of the ones.
No, because when we actually say it, people are gonna be like, "Oh, you didn't know that?"
Yeah. No, the people. If someone's watching this, they're literally looking like it is Fortnite. They're literally like
That's
Fortnite.
so simple.
You guys talking about Fortnite?
Yeah.
Literally with the dance moves, at least Onverse paved the way.
Well, 100%. I think they had like more realistic dance moves.
That was one of the ones.
Let's get into it.
If we want to get back to my trolling,
come on, it's full circle.
Full circle.
Mm-hmm.
I had stopped trolling for a second.
Mm-hmm.
That got me right back into it. And I'm talking about when you're on Onverse and you're friends with someone, like you friend them, when you click their name, you can teleport exactly to where they are. So that gave me such a bigger range to troll people because I'm sitting here, I'm not saying anything. I'm in the club. I walk up to somebody in the club and I start dancing with them. They want me to leave. They're like, leave me alone. Go away. I'm like following around the club. Yeah. And I'm like steady dancing on them like I won't stop. Literally. They leave the club. They get up. They walk up the steps. Remember, it was like a long step. You're in the club and there's like sharks underneath you. The way they decorated it like was like a club in Miami in the 90s or something.
Yeah.
They go up the steps. They leave out the club. I follow them. They're like, get the freak away. Like, what's wrong with you? This is one of the ones where like you can say anything.
So now we've progressed to being able to say whatever you want.
Whatever you want in the chat box. So they're like cussing me out in the chat box. I'm like not saying anything and I'm still dancing. We're out the club and I'm still like hitting my moves. And so then they like teleport away. I saved their name already. So I click their like save where I saved it, type it in and click teleport, pop up exactly where they are. And they're like, what the hell? Like, how did you get here? Oh my gosh, like,
what's happening?
This is crazy.
Yeah.
No, whatever. They're not even thinking, like, turn off your teleportation. Because some people didn't have it on. So, like, once they leave, I type their name in and I'm like, dang it. Like, I can't follow them. But literally, like, I would have a field day. The whole day, I'm logged in for an hour. Mom's downstairs cooking dinner.
Yeah.
Calling us. The food's ready. 30 minutes into following somebody around. And I'm like, dang. I have to get up and go downstairs, eat. Come back upstairs.
You're whispering, you get a break right now.
Yeah, you get a break. Come back upstairs, take a shower, find somebody else. The next hour before I go to bed, following them around. They're saying the most vile stuff possible to me. And I'm just sitting there dancing. In silence, dancing. All
same dance move.
Same dance move.
No, that's literally so funny.
No, literally, that was the highlight of my life. Like, that was bringing me so much joy.
As a person who was there during this time, this was single-handedly one of the funniest things you did in childhood. Like, literally, I remember, I'm like, okay, what is she talking about?
Yeah.
I'm tuning in. You're saying that you're disturbing people on the app.
Yeah.
I'm like, what could you possibly be doing?
Yeah.
I come into your room. I leave out, my stomach hurts. I'm laughing so hard. I think you guys don't understand the pure, like, anger with these people, I think, is what
they would get so mad.
They were so mad, and it's almost like you knew who to choose, because there were also people on Onverse that, you know, it's on every game. People find themselves in these relationships. Yeah. And it's like you find the two people sitting in the corner.
You find people who are so locked into this video game. Like, no, like, this game is their whole life. So, like, you, like, following them around is, like, really tormenting them. This sounds terrible, but, like, that's what I would do. I'm like, you are, like, hanging out.
We're 12.
Mind you, we're 12.
Yeah.
Like, you are sitting at this table talking to like your virtual girlfriend.
Yeah.
And like, I found you. Because there's some people, like, I will go up to them and dance and they would just start dancing too.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, this person's not locked in.
They're not with
this
it.
is just a fun weekend, like, for them. Like, they're just
They're not a frequent gamer.
They're not a frequent gamer or whatever. I go to this table and like, these people have been friends for like 3 years online, never met each other.
Yeah.
Like, these are the people who are locked in. And now I'm following y'all around and y'all are like, what the heck? Like, leave us alone.
No, because all you want is peace, and now you'll have none.
And when I think back, I think about it, I'm like, that was so crazy because those kids were probably really trying to escape something in real life. And then they get online and it's happening there too. Like, they're running from torment. And like, they get on there.
And now they found it.
I'm ready to torment you.
Well, the answer is don't try to find that escape online. I'm sorry, but this is not the place either.
Gosh,
but the reality of it is, like, when people would just surrender to what was happening, it was really...
And I would go away. No, literally, when they would stop reacting, I'm like, oh, this is... I'm like, oh, they're not even funny.
No, it's like you would literally be following them like a couple. I remember this one couple, and then they like transported into like the forest or something like that.
Yeah.
And then you wait a second, you find them. They're like, how did she find us here? It's her.
Girl, I was like a myth on that game. Like, everyone knew me.
Do you remember sometimes if you know someone's name, like if you talk to them, it's like sometimes you can like save them. Yeah. You can come back on to see if that person was online.
Yeah, you can see
teleport to them again, and they're like, she's back.
No, literally. Like, what?
They couldn't escape you on that game.
No, they couldn't.
Mind you, this game had no, like, it was no filter. I don't even think if you reported somebody, they would do anything. No. It was just one of those games where everybody was just living,
like, I never had to make a new character. Like, this
never had to do that. No. We were doing whatever we wanted to do. Yeah. Shout out to the part where they added, like, a ability to have, like, a little timeshare on the island. Do you remember that?
Oh my gosh, the way that they were literally like called timeshares, like,
it was insane.
It was kind of strange, but also insane. Shout out, before we even move on from this game, the freaking videos on that video games on the game.
Oh my gosh, there was this game where you literally throw like snowballs at people on like a giant like square of ice
that's floating in the air. So if you get hit off, like, you fall. Note, the whole time you're throwing snowballs, there's blocks of ice that are just falling. Yeah, just in general. Yeah. Like, you can't stand on the same block for too long. Best game out.
I used to fuck shit up on that game.
No, literally.
They were scared of me.
Yeah.
There was always like one guy that just managed to have like some power-ups or something. I don't know where he got these things from. That like if he was there, it's like you might as well come back again tomorrow because he's gonna win.
And he's gonna stay for like an hour. He's gonna be on every next
loser
game.
Has no life. No. He's at home playing this game for hours. Yeah. And I just want to escape. You know, I just want a simple escape. Little 30 minutes here and there, and this guy's still on the game. No. That game, you had to put the work in because it doesn't come easy.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't come easy. It was definitely one of those that, like, after practice, after putting in practice, we even taught each other. I don't know who the first person to play the game was. After practice, only then can you stand on that ice.
Yeah.
Only then.
And like stand a chance.
And it was so good because we didn't join Onverse specifically to play games. We joined it for like the virtual
aspect.
Yeah, and like the social aspect.
Yeah.
We talked a lot more in that one.
Yeah, we did.
We had way more fun in that sense. And shout out to Onverse again, last thing I'll say, because it was one of those games, like you earn points or whatever coins. I don't know how you got your cash, but you were able to buy things.
You were able to buy things, yes. Oh my gosh, I loved buying furniture for my little apartment. Loved that because you could either have a apartment on the island, like use a little timeshare, or your apartment could be downtown.
Yes.
Remember? And like they look different on the insides depending.
Yeah.
Loved it. 10 out of 10. I had so many posters like in my house. And like,
well, yeah. And I think that's the thing. Like maybe that's why the game didn't last, because you literally did not have to purchase anything.
No, remember the game didn't last. Remember we Googled it and the CEO like committed suicide? Yeah, like the game creator like killed himself. That was crazy.
I feel like we definitely did figure that out. Well, well, sorry, I misspoke.
Yeah.
Like, ouch. Okay, well, that just got dark.
Yeah.
Well, it was a fun game.
It was so fun.
Yeah.
I really wonder what drove him to do that, because like he was a
It couldn't have been the game.
It couldn't have been the game. He was a master in his craft.
He was a master in his craft, and maybe he thought I did everything I set out to do.
Yeah.
That game was a masterpiece.
Yeah.
It was his life's work.
It was.
Congratulations to him and his family.
Literally.
Yes, let's move on. What do we have left?
We have 2 left. Honestly, I want to go to Sims first because the other one is like the most important.
Yeah.
Not too much on Sims, honestly.
Not too much on Sims.
Like everybody knows Sims. Like we were Sims 3 girls, so we didn't go to like Sims 4 and Sims 5. We're like you could have pets and like whatever.
No, keep that to yourself. We got to a point where they did an expansion pack where you could have different jobs. I remember at one point I was a hairstylist. We did that, but what we really did, like everyone who plays Sims, we got on Sims to kill people.
You were killing people. I was going around town. I had a child with like every man in the town. I don't know what that says about like my mental health at the ripe age of like 9.
Well, both of us.
Yeah.
Both of us.
But like you were like locking people up in your house.
I lived for it.
Setting them on fire.
I lived for it.
And I was like on my 4th child with like the man down the street.
Single woman,
and
5
also,
kids.
like as soon as I give birth to the baby, giving the baby away.
Give it.
Like, I mean, like...
You were there for the thrill.
I was there for the thrill.
I feel like you just wanted to have fun.
I was having fun.
You were having fun. You were having kids, and you were leaving them.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing. That was the beauty of Sims.
I would pause the game, and I literally move the kid out of my household and put it into, like, the father's house.
Oh, well, see, and that's the thing. They were being raised by someone. You were not leaving. You weren't abandoning the kid.
Yeah.
No, I for me, personally, my sim was, like... at first, I was one of those people that wanted to do all the careers. Yeah. And then somebody gave us the little, code.
Motherload.
The little Motherload cheat code. Sorry, we weren't like into Sims lore that much, so it took us a long time to figure out what that was. Yeah. Once I had all the money in the world, there was no stopping me.
No stopping.
I would do this thing. Mm-hmm. I would host these grand parties in my mansion. Yeah. And what the town people did not know is that one of you will die by the end.
One of you aren't escaping.
By the end of the night, one of you guys will not be going home. And the beauty of it was that I never knew ahead of time. Yeah. I would just pick. Yeah. I would get there. Somebody would go to the bathroom.
And like, oh, you're not getting
They weren't making out that bathroom. I would lock them in the door. Somehow I'd pause the game. I would magically place, like, I don't know, like...
cinder block in front of the door.
A cinder block in front of the door. Or, like, sometimes, like, I would place, like, a little... not like a stove or something, like, what do you like on barbecue? Grill. A grill on the outside. I'd place a grill on the outside or on the inside, and then I would grill something and I would let it catch on fire. It like the details don't matter. Just know that they'd be in the bathroom, no door, grill on the inside, and they'd burn to a crisp. And what's so crazy is I do all this. I'd like literally crack my side. I'm like, you're done. You're out of here. I had a thing for the old people in that town. I don't know what it was, but I'm just like, they're not serving a purpose in my village. Yeah. So I was like, you got to get out of here.
You got to go.
And they weren't going by old age. It took a long time for people to go by old age on Sims.
Yeah, and Sims, just like until to die from that.
Well, the thing is, we didn't know at the time that you could actually do like the timeline. You could adjust it to where like 7 years could be like one day. Yeah, you could literally change it. We didn't know at the time. So I was having to get these old people out of here by any means.
You were such a villain.
Like, no, here's
That
the
was
thing.
crazy.
Here's the thing. No. Like, not too much of me. Listen, it came back to me.
Yeah.
Because one of the times I was...
Oh my gosh, I remember this.
I was trapping an old person in my bathroom on Sims.
Mm-hmm.
And they were going to die.
Mm-hmm.
And it's crazy because it was me and my son living in the house. I wasn't that big on family. It was just me and my kid.
Yeah.
It was me and my son. My son was swimming in the pool.
Yes.
So I don't know how much you guys know about Sims, but like when something crazy starts happening, they abandon ship.
No, it's specifically a fire. Like when a fire starts happening, like no one can move.
I mean, they're literally panicking, like they don't know what to do. No. And so everybody stops they stop Sims. Mm-hmm. And so for whatever reason, my son, I kept trying, he would not get out of the pool.
He wouldn't get out of the pool.
I couldn't get my son out of the pool. And it got to the point where he literally started drowning.
He got fatigued.
He was
tired.
Guys,
he literally drowned.
No, because you don't know how much I was panicking. He got fatigued. He would not get out of this pool. Mm. So when someone actually starts dying, you can't pause the game anymore.
No, like it zooms in on
it. It zooms in. You can't pause the game anymore. I am in distress. I'm distressed. And literally the Grim Reaper starts coming.
Oh my gosh.
It's almost like a sick, twisted game.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I had this party to kill one person and now two people ended up dying.
Yeah.
And one of them is my son.
And one of them is your son.
And one of them is my son.
And you were like, I remember that because you were like generations deep.
Oh my gosh, guys, this was like my great, like my original person's like great grandson.
Yeah.
So then like this wasn't like, if it's one thing that I also did on this game, is like, I really like to see like if you put two people together, like what's this third person going to look like? I definitely think I was doing some genetic.
All my kids were like coming out deformed. Hated having kids on that
that's
game.
really interesting.
I had a kid and I'm like, get it away from me.
No, and it was all like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it was just karma for us.
Yeah.
But no, like losing that son, I buried him in the backyard, was awful for me. I think that was a wake up call. I think that's when I decided that I wouldn't kill anybody unless I had a real reason.
Yeah.
Which sometimes there was.
And then didn't a comment like follow one of
So that's another thing too. It's like you live to like tell the tales, you know? I feel like this is when I was in my healing era on Sims. Yeah. I was doing better. My Sim was living her life. I walked into the middle of town. Everybody's pointing at the sky. And from the viewer, we can't see what they're looking at. Yeah. They're pointing at the sky. Some things are happening. A comet falls down, lands on my Sim. Boom, it's done. That whole generation.
That was actually so crazy when
it was insane.
It felt like the game creators were like working against you.
Oh, they were.
That was actually so random.
It was karma.
Yeah.
It was karma for a little cleansing I was doing in the town.
In the town.
They didn't like that. They didn't like that. I was trying to push for a whole new image in that main town. I don't even remember what the name
Sunset Valley.
Sunset Valley. How could I forget?
Sunset Valley. Like what?
My Sunset Valley, by the time I was done with it, had none of the original people. And it was on me. I didn't want any of the original people. I wanted new people in my town. They didn't like that.
They didn't want that.
The creators didn't like that. They were like, we have to get her to stop playing this game.
Do you remember like the vampires and like the top of the
the people over there? Yeah. What were their names? I feel like I knew at some point.
I remember it too.
Yeah.
For some reason, we were like always involved with them.
I think they were just ever so present. Yeah. I think like someone in their family was always like doing something.
Yeah.
They were always up to something. Oh, also, I hate to say it, like I got rid of the lazy people in my town. Anybody who had the slop trait, you were on the chopping block to die.
Is that I was literally having kids with that guy that had the slop trait that was in that.
That was awfully. I don't know why you were doing that.
Was so weird. I would always pick him.
That was your worst option.
Yeah, but it was so weird.
Was it proximity?
Like, no, it was like every time I get to town, I'm like, okay, first kid, have to have it with him.
Have to have it with this guy. It's just like the routine.
I think that like my kids looked the best when I had them with him.
Oh, interesting.
Which is so weird because I remember I had a son with him once and he was so handsome. And then he got to like the dad's age and he was hideous.
Oh, that sucks.
Like,
that sucks.
I was like, oh no, like.
And so that's like the interesting thing about having The Sims is like, I think it's where everybody takes like their worst thoughts and like plays it out in this game. And it's good because if you get it out in the game, you're not thinking about it in real life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, obviously you wouldn't think about these things in the real world, but it's like in the game, I get to create what people look like.
Yeah.
I'm taking advantage of that.
Duh.
There will be no ugly people in my town.
None.
And there were none. There were no ugly people. There were no old people. And it was barely any children.
Yeah.
So I think for me, that's kind of how I was running my town.
Yeah.
I was running my shit. It was very interesting. Almost like the military.
Like the military job.
No, it was good.
It was good.
Shout out to Sims 3.
Okay. Sims 3 only.
And only Sims 3.
We have one more.
High-end loft pack.
Oh my gosh, that's what we had.
Yeah.
High-end loft pack.
Yeah, we did. Okay.
The very, very last, most important game of our childhood.
Yes.
Some of you might have heard of it. Some of you maybe have not. And if you didn't, then like you're not into the lore that we're into. This is a game where like I'm not sure if a lot of people played it because we never talked to like our real life friends about this. Mm-hmm. But if I met someone and they said they played this game growing up, I feel like we have a connection that like I don't have with anybody else.
We haven't instant
seriously.
connection.
Especially a guy. Like now I have to marry you.
Oh, no, I have to marry you because now were we on at the same time?
Right.
Did I meet you in the game? Like, no.
It's giving fate.
It's giving fate. It's giving fate.
Yeah.
I feel like this game right here was definitely the best game that we played.
Yeah.
It was the most fun. I feel like we played it for the longest.
Yeah.
And I feel like, no, this game was going up. This game went crazy.
Yeah.
Gaia. Gaia.
Yeah.
I feel like,
and I feel like it wasn't even .com. It was like .net or something.
It was something like
so
that.
Weird.
It was so weird.
But Gaia.
It was like a whole different world.
Oh my gosh.
It really took us there. It was peak virtual worlds on the internet.
Oh my gosh.
On the internet.
The games within the game.
Okay, guys.
That's
actually so crazy.
The little common spaces you can meet other people.
No, but what's so crazy is when we first started playing Gaia, we were only in like the regular part of the game.
We were in the regular
We didn't know
part.
anything else that had to do.
No.
And honestly, it was still cool.
It was so cool, but like we were missing out on the whole part of the game.
We were missing out on
like
what made the game the best part.
2 months of playing the game.
We were just playing the game regular.
Yeah.
And it like you could dress people up. You had like Gaia felt like, I mean, we were definitely way too young to be playing that game.
Yeah.
It was 100% more like mature
like
content.
for teens, and we were like
teens and like adults who were still playing games.
Yeah.
It was like that. Mm-hmm. It was very like, it was very adult center. It was very teen center. It was very like all of that. So I think that's the one I had the most friends on.
Yeah.
So, naturally I made more friends on the adult side. Mm-hmm. And so it was cool. And then all of a sudden, I actually don't remember.
It was like one fateful night. I was asleep.
It was a fateful, yes.
And you and Lauren were playing the game.
We were playing the game. And so we had actually already discovered that little world where we were able to go in.
Yeah.
They created like a space on Gaia where it was like a world in a world, and you could go in and you play these games and you travel to like different.
It's like different levels.
And
you're fighting enemies that get like harder and harder.
Yeah.
The higher up you go.
The higher up you go. So you start off with like fighting the freaking lawn,
like gnomes.
Garden gnomes and like the little flamingos.
Yeah,
you start off fighting there. That's like the first world that you're in.
And every time you kill something, like a little like coin or like
it was like an orb or something.
Yeah, an orb.
I think it was an orb.
Literally, that was like the currency.
It was an orb, and I think like the crazy thing about that is when we first started playing, we were at level 1.
Yeah,
because we didn't even know about collecting orbs. We were just like, we didn't even know that it was a fighting game.
Like, this is
we
fun.
were just out there. Mm-hmm. We were just vibing, and every time we went out on the lawn, we got attacked.
Yeah,
it was really just that simple. And so then one fateful night, Lauren and I met our knight in shining armor.
Literally.
And
shout out to him. Like, that would be amazing. Can you imagine like meeting him? And
what is this king doing?
What is he doing? What is he up to? I'm wishing him nothing but peace and prosperity.
Peace and prosperity. Like, I hope that he's out there really thriving.
Yeah.
Because what he did for us, he deserves something great in his life. And so we meet this king.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, you guys, you're supposed to be fighting these things.
Yeah.
He basically like puts us on. And so from that point on, we're like, oh, we hit something and we get like an orb.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, I can get used to this. Yeah. So he's like, oh, if, you guys want to learn how to play, fine, I'll teach you. I'll bring you with me to all these different worlds. Okay, so here's another thing. Here's another interesting thing that you guys don't know. Mm-hmm. Maybe you do. You have to basically join a party in order to play.
Yeah.
So that was
you could go in alone if you feel like you're strong enough.
If you want to get killed, you
literally you walk in.
Yeah.
There's like 10 people playing.
Yeah.
And like you stay with that 10 people.
You stay with those 10 people.
You don't even have to communicate, but like
everyone just kind of knew that was the best way to go.
Yeah.
You go in at the right time with a group of people, and it's like you're playing in a party. You're playing in a group, and so we also knew nothing about that. Mm-hmm. So he basically brings us into this game. And he's like, well, it's him, and it is a couple other people that are with him. I'm guessing they're his friends. He's played with this team before. Mm-hmm. Mind you, once again, one of those games, people could say anything. They're like, what are these losers doing here? They're level 1.
Oh my gosh.
Why did you bring them?
Love to call people noobs on that game.
They love to call people noobs. It was the weirdest thing ever.
It was like the worst thing somebody could call you.
It was the worst thing somebody can call you, but at the same time, like, I think we all kind of were the same way in the sense that there just wasn't anything you could say to me that was going to bother me on this online.
What the heck is a noob?
Like, yeah, I'm like, whatever. And like, even then, I'm just like, okay, loser.
Okay.
Like, whatever. Like, I just didn't think anything of that.
Yeah.
Not you bullying me. Mm-hmm. I knew everyone instantly on that game was older than me.
Yeah.
So it just...
Old and like kind of lame in there.
I'm a kid and it's okay to play this game.
Yeah.
You're an adult and it's not okay.
It's not okay.
You clock in, you go to work tomorrow.
Yeah.
Anyways. So yeah. So he brings us in and we're in this party. We go past level 1. Okay. We go past level 2.
Yeah.
We get into like Japanese town.
Yeah.
And it's like the beautiful little dolls.
Like cherry blossoms.
Yes.
Like the Japanese dolls are like trying to kill you.
The Japanese dolls are trying to kill you. And mind you, it's like maybe 10 worlds in this game. And each of them, they get harder and harder.
So hard.
We didn't even know that there was a second one. We were spending all our time on the lawn.
Yeah.
So we were playing, I think the second one was in like the forest and it was like really dark. Remember that one? It was like kind of scary.
I guess.
I don't know. I think it was the second one. It wasn't very fun.
Yeah.
But we didn't even know. And they're like new monsters as you progress. And we weren't getting like any extra points per se. We were just tagging along.
Yeah.
And like if you like died on the game, someone could like revive you as long as everybody's not dead.
Yeah.
So it was like something like that. Like you can go along, like, you know, and they had to like revive you, whatever. So, and then also once you unlocked a place, you can go back to it.
You can go back,
that was like the important part. So that, which is also why we needed him to take us through this thing. We were running through this thing, running through the games, Tomb Raider style, running through all the games with the team. We got to like the underground, like world. We got to like the one under the water.
Oh my gosh, the one where you're like in the Mayan place.
We went to the Mayan like ruins,
the one
like
where you're in the woods with like the woodcutters.
Yes, the woodcutters, and then like there was also like wolves or something.
Wolves and stuff. Yeah,
we went through them all, and it was like the most fun thing. It felt like we had seen the 7 wonders of the world.
Literally.
That's literally what it felt like.
When I woke up that next morning and you guys were talking about it, I was like, what the heck are they talking about?
We did not understand. Like,
you're the beach one?
The beach one.
Yeah.
And that was right when you came from like under the water.
Yeah.
You come up on the beach.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had seen the 7 wonders. I remember like distinctively, that was like one of the best nights of my childhood.
Yeah.
Playing games. We were like, wow, we couldn't stop talking about it. I don't remember this guy's name, but we were like, wow, we just met the coolest grown-up ever.
Yeah.
That's all we could think. We were like, he really did this for us. And from that point on, we were locked in.
We were locked into that game.
We played that game
every day.
Morning, evenings, night.
Yeah.
We were on that game.
Trying to like defeat all 10 levels.
And what's crazy is we started like effing it up for real.
No, like we were really good.
We were really good. We were collecting them orbs. Like we were going up all the levels. All the levels. Yeah. By the time we finished, what's crazy, I have no idea what my character looked like. I have no recollection of it.
Me either.
No recollection.
And remember when we first when we first started, the little area where you can hang out with everybody and people had like cars. It was like the dream to like save up enough money to buy a car.
To be in that area. Yeah.
And now it's like
we never came back to that really.
No, we were like spending all of our orbs on like different weapons.
We was on different weapons and being in that freaking fantasy world.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
No, it was so great.
It was awesome. It was so much fun. And it's crazy because I think for sure Gaia lasted way longer than when we finished playing it.
Honestly, I wonder if it's still out. Did we ever look that up?
I think it definitely came to an end if I'm not mistaken, but I really think it lasted way longer
because it was also out for longer than when we started.
It was out for longer. It was really on some like IMVU.
Yeah,
it was like it was a nerdier version of IMVU. We were IMVU.
It was nothing like IMVU though. Girls went on IMVU to be fast.
Yeah,
it was like really weird to me how like we were like in elementary school and people were like on IMVU and like the characters were just like getting pregnant and like.
It was very interesting.
Houses.
Yeah, and also like with this like skankiest clothes, which is cool.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're 10.
Not even 10. You're like 7.
It was really weird.
Yeah,
it was really weird.
It was weird.
I mean, if you had a MySpace account because you were that age during this time, then it made sense to also pair that with an IMVU.
Yeah.
But
it was some weird stuff going on.
If you couldn't pass like the parental advisory from, you know, like you couldn't get on MySpace, you couldn't make a Facebook, you weren't of age.
Yeah.
So I feel like, why were you on IMVU?
Why were you? Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not sure. That. I don't think that was right.
Me either.
Where are you
today? The creators of that game were like weird.
Yeah, no, the creators were definitely onto something, and all the girls that had IMVU at that age, I know where you are today.
Yeah.
So that's
that.
Well, I know what happened. So
yeah.
And I was on Gaia, and my life is wonderful.
And look at where I've ended up. So
look at where I ended up. Yeah, no, Gaia was definitely the T on that. That was number one.
Gaia was that girl, and
Gaia was that girl.
That's the end of the list.
That's the end of the list, and I would love to know, like, with our list, if you guys have played any of these, and if you feel like we got our rankings wrong.
Oh my gosh, please tell us if you guys played any of these. I'm like living for people who used to be on these games.
Yes.
We literally, like, we did it together.
We did it together.
And not saying, like, of course I would talk to some of my friends about Poptropica or, like, Sims, but some of the other ones we named, like, I have no clue what other people were doing on there.
We don't know anybody who played them, so it's like we've just been keeping this all in for all these years.
All in, and it's like I would love to talk to people who know like what music we were talking about on Onverse, or people who were like on the doc on OurWorld.
Yes,
you know, people who were like clocking in on Gaia every day.
Clocking in, like, did y'all play these games?
Did y'all play them?
And if you did, let's be friends.
Even Y8, like, were y'all on Y8?
They had to have been on Y8.
Yeah,
you were on Y8. If you weren't, seriously, I just don't think you played
mini
games.
clips. That's the thing, though. Like, some people were really outside during this time. Some people were outside talking to people and like over the summer at the pool and stuff, and that just wasn't what we were doing.
That's true. We're gonna blow your minds, but the both of us, we cannot ride bikes. So that tells you everything that you need to know.
Oh,
no, I just violated
that information.
No, I just kind of violated. I'm sorry. No, I just want to give some insight to our viewers on what we.
Yeah, no, like we were in the house.
We were in the house.
Sure. We were in the house.
Yeah,
and that's that. That is the end of part 2. Maybe at some point we'll have a part 3 to childhood nostalgia.
Yeah,
we definitely will, because we have to talk about our childhood cartoon crushes at some point.
That's what we
love to talk about that.
That's what we have to do.
But yeah,
that is the end of that. Don't forget to like,
comment, and subscribe.
Yes, 100%.
And we'll see you guys next week with another video.
See you next week. Bye.
Bye.